Good day, friends. Today we are at ADRPLEXUS coming up with what are the major differences between NEET-PG 2018 and 2019. So to start with, doctors who are finishing their internship by March 31st are eligible for this NEET-PG 2019, which is going to be held on Jan 6th. And as always, it is first come, first served, and people who are already blocked their centers, they are going to get their centers of their choice. People who are late, they'll be allotted the nearby centers according to the update given by the prospectors. So you are to fill your application very cautiously because only one application will be allowed with the credentials which you are going to type. So please be very cautious in filling up your categories and your names and everything. And this is only one application. If there is a chance of two applications which is getting filled, there is a 99% likely chance of getting it rejected. So be very cautious in filling all the credentials in the application form. Now moving on to the major difference which is going to have an impact on the exam, to be particular on the day of the exam. NEET-PG 2018 was held in the morning hours starting at 9:30, but 2019 it's going to be in the afternoon. So what is that significance? It can have the most important thing it is something to do with your circadian rhythms. And as you all know, the circadian rhythms play a very important role in your alertness. You find you have a very good alertness in the morning hours, and the alertness in the morning hours is very useful in your way of answering the MCQs. But as the day proceeds, the hours where you're going to take your exams, that is from 3:30 to 7, you have the following changes which is taking place physiologically in your body. And 3:30, it's a best coordination time, but as the day proceeds and as the time when you're going to finish the exams, your blood pressure and temperatures are bound to increase according to the circadian rhythms. So how to have a good exam hours is that it's simple. You have to condition your body in the next following 2 months. And what you're going to do in the next 2 months will decide on the day performance of NEET-PG 2019, which is a very critical thing in getting good scores in NEET-PG 2019. So please avoid sleeping during these hours, 3:30 to 7 o'clock. This is the usual sleeping hours after preparing early in the morning. So please avoid sleeping because this is a time when you have to be with high alertness to answer MCQs, and that to apply the MCQs. You have to be in a real conscious state to answer MCQs. And as you all know, there are hormonal changes. To start with, the cortisol in the morning is at the peak, followed by the melatonin, which starts peaking at the evening hours. So ideally, the time when you are going to take exam, that is between your 3:30 to 7, you have a balance between your cortisol and melatonin. Most importantly, you should know you shouldn't take a heavy, high glycemic food before your exams. Condition your body that you don't take high glycemic foods, because taking high glycemic foods, you can sleep during the exam hours. So avoid taking a fatty diet which is like not suitable for your GIT. So these are the basic things which you are going to follow for the next 2 months, which is very critical in getting a very good on-the-day performance of the exam. Okay, what are the foods you can take? Definitely you can take bananas, which can increase your serotonin levels, which is needed for higher alertness, and fruit salads, which can keep your GIT very light, which is very useful in keeping your alertness high. So the next important thing what I want to stress is that take some tea which can keep you highly motivated, or something which keeps you highly motivated, but please avoid high fatty diets and high glycemic index foods. Okay, now the major differences between 2018 NEET-PG and 2019 NEET-PG. So this is going to be a single exam which is conducted by NAT board. So be very sure they are going to be on the numbers which they are going to give for the subject-wise distribution. What is the major difference between 2018 NEET-PG and 2019 is that 2019 NEET PG, they have divided the subjects into part A, part B, and part C. Okay, so let us see what is the number of questions that is getting deferred from 2018 to 2019. You find there are 2 questions which is getting increased in 2019 as like for anatomy. For anatomy, it is like 2 questions and they are going to increase, and for biochemistry, 1 question. And you find totally 5 questions are increased for first year subjects. And this 5 questions which is increased in first year is going to play an important role because they have reduced some 5 questions from your final year subjects. Okay. Next important thing is that this first year subjects come under part A. Okay, they come under part A, and the subjects coming under part B, the following subjects, there is no change in the distribution of questions for part B. But one subject they have brought under part B is that it is PSM. They have brought PSM under part B. Okay, they have brought PSM under part B. Okay, now moving on to the very important part C. You find part A and part B, you have totally 150 questions, and part C, you find the major difference is that medicine, dermatology, psychiatry has been clubbed as a single entity for 2019 with 45 questions, which is a dip in 2 questions from 2018. And surgery, ortho, anesthesia, radiology, and radiotherapy is clubbed as a single entity. And again, you find a dip in 3 questions. These 5 questions has been added to part A. Okay, what is the major difference as far as part C is concerned is OBG. OBG weightage has been increased by 5 questions. It's very critical. OBG has been increased by 5 questions, and 5 questions from your pediatrics has been moved to OBG. So please make sure that OBG is going to be the single most important subject for your NEET-PG, because you find medicine is clubbed with dermatology, psychiatry, and surgery along with ortho, anesthesia, radiology, and radiotherapy. But if you find OBG, it's a single important subject with the maximum questions of 30 questions. Be very sure in OBG, and that too, it is your part C. Part C consists of 150 questions, and what part A, part B, part C is going to have an impact is simply they are going to decide your tie-breaking criteria. As far as NEET-PG 2019 is concerned, the tie-breaking criteria is going to give you an extra advantage rather than your 2018 NEET-PG tie-breaking criteria. Let us see what is the difference between 2018 and 2019 tie-breaking criteria. You find in 2018, the maximum positive responses will have an edge when there is a tiebreaker, whereas 2019, it is a minimum negative responses in A plus B plus C. Even when this is having the same responses, the next criteria which is concerned in 2018 is the MBBS aggregate scores. And this was actually poorly updated in the last year, and there were so many confusions. People who have just put more aggregate scores had an extra advantage over the other people who had the same tie-breaking scores. But right now, they have rectified this perfectly in 2019, because the tie-breaking is going to be in the following manner. It's going to be the higher marks. It's going to be the higher marks in part C, which is going to be the first tie-breaking criteria. The next, it's going to be the lesser mistakes. Next, the higher marks in part B and lesser mistakes in part B. Next, higher marks in part A and lesser mistakes in part A. This is how the flow is going to be for the tie-breaking criteria. But more importantly, even if all these criteria is met, the final thing, the older candidate gets the advantage. So they will be following the subject-wise distribution religiously. Please make sure that you concentrate equally on all subjects, but more equally give you stress on the first year subjects where the question distribution has been increased by 5 questions. And one more subject which is of immense importance is going to be OBG, where the weightage has been increased to 30 questions. So thank you guys, and we'll be coming up with a few more videos regarding preparation and regarding how to strategize in the next 60 days, which we will be uploading in the next following weeks. Thank you.